Hello everybody, welcome back to another edition of the BuildWitt vlog. Today we are in downtown Tampa, Florida with Milburn Demolition. Right now we're on top of an old school building, and behind me is a historic bell tower attached to a historic church. What is going on here is that they have demolished some of the surrounding buildings and they're going to be building an apartment building here, but they don't want to wreck the historic structure, the church tower, the church. So they want to keep that, preserve it, restore it, and use it as an event space, which is going to be pretty spectacular. I love when they keep historic buildings instead of just demolishing them to build nonsense. So this is a really cool project. The complexity here and why it's taking Milburn so long is because this building that we're standing on right now has to go. But that's a very, very fragile historic structure that they can't disturb. It's made out of clay tile and it's connected to this building. So now that they've put all this scaffolding and they've secured the existing structure, is they're gonna be creating a gap in between the old bell tower and the building we're standing on now by saw cutting and doing it all by hand. They can't even hammer it because it causes too much vibration to the old structure. And then once they have a gap in between the two buildings, this building, what we're standing on, can be torn down using conventional equipment, an excavator, and all of this will go away. That will stay. They'll continue the restoration of it, and this soon will be beautiful and up to modern standards, but still while preserving that old structure that he said was sometime in the early 1900s. So this is probably one of the oldest structures in downtown Tampa right now, and they're keeping it. It's amazing. This is not typically what demolition companies do. Typically, it's you come in, you raise everything, but this is Milburn's specialty. They like the unique stuff. It's a unique challenge. It's not just coming in, blowing and going, tearing stuff down. You have to think, and he said there's been a year of just engineering and design to pull this off.
So we got all kinds of other cool little neat things like vibration monitors. So we have geotechnical people that are involved that are telling us, okay, how much vibration we're putting onto the structure itself, and it all goes right to our phone. So some technological stuff that's cool to the industry nowadays is if we're creating too much vibration that could cause damage to this, it'll immediately send us a text and say, stop whatever you're, not stop what you're doing, but just kind of, hey, you're creating the vibration over our threshold limit that we determined. And then, so there's one here, we got one over inside the chapel. Couldn't go through the roof. We had to move, do you see the new wood in there next to the old wood? So we had to cut joists, put new joists in.
Dang.
Then we also have a tilt meter. So there's a meter on above us, on this floor above us, where it'll tell us if this thing's moving one direction or the other.
Is that right?
Vertically.
Is this actually historically protected, or they just want to protect it?
I don't know if it's on the historic register or not.
Yeah.
But
that's a lot of.
It adds something to the property.
Yeah.
It'll be a nice little event space.
Yeah. An expensive event space.
Yeah. So this is what I was telling you. So this is the separation between the two buildings, right? This being our tower, and this being the old school. So what they're gonna do is we're gonna shore up here, right? And then we're gonna slice and dice this without hammers. We're gonna all saw it all up in little pieces, pull it away.
With, when you say saw, like a chop saw?
No, like big diesel powered
okay, so you'll do
saws.
Yeah.
So the concrete will all get cut up.
But you'll just do it in chunks.
Chunks, yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty bad.
So all of this is going away.
Yeah. So same thing here, what we're doing is we're creating a gap, a bay of separation. So all this gets opened up, and so when we get done with this, you'll look from the ground floor up, And there'll be a big hole between this building and that building. So this we can conventionally erect with a machine, and then this will stay.
And here's your original construction.
That's the corner of your tower.
Yeah. Yeah, that is as fragile as it gets.
Yeah.
Dang.
And that's on.
So this is what the entire tower is made of?
Correct.
Woof.
Old school fire brick, what they call clay tile.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
So that's it, huh? Wow, they really just built right up to it.
Right up to it. So that right there is the plaster.
Holy smoke.
Right? Yeah.
Wow.
So you can see what we're gonna do is we're gonna build a roof over this, right? To keep it dry. We're gonna cut that portion of the building up against that concrete beam.
Whoa.
Right above it. We're gonna remove this a bay away, which is where you're standing, right? And there'll be a hole right here. And then this will be conventionally demoed with machine, and they can come up right next to it. So
that is so fragile right there.
surgical, man, surgical.
Oh.
Cool.
So what you guys are doing, they're scraping the inside.
Yeah, they're wrecking all these walls, morning. They're wrecking all these walls and getting all this down so that we have
They're clean.
We can go all the way up with our scaffold and our shoring.
Uh-huh.
And then this will get tied together here. So this is from the outside. You know, this will look just like this. It'll come around and go around because this is our tower. Right? So this will all get cut. They'll start from the ground floor, they'll catch the first deck, we'll saw up the first deck, then they'll go up to the second deck, we'll saw up the second deck, come up to the roof, saw that up, and then you'll have one bay of separation between, you know, whatever that is, 100-year-old tower. See how they've taken some of the members off of that already?
Yeah.
So they're gonna take them off, take them back to the shop, recast them, right? Or repair what they have, and then reinstall them. This is some old school masonry, you know, real craftsmanship.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's cool. We don't do stuff like that anymore.
Are you slamming?
Of course I'm slamming.
Super slamming.
I was just feeling a little risky, so I'm stopping. I am looking. I'm assessing. Chell, this is a potentially high traffic area, and I'm mitigating. Please, cars, look out. Chell is droning right now. Huge delivery coming in this morning. Was not expecting this. Look at that machine. All right. Chell, I wasn't all that excited, but now
Now we're getting to watch me.
yeah,
work.
I don't.
Man.
Yeah, we're getting a watch me work. I don't need coffee anymore. Hugo, where are you at, bro? Oh, I have the A-Rex. I'm Hugo. You don't have this stuff, Hugo. You don't have this big machinery. How do you guys get up to the different levels in this building?
With a forklift that raises up.
All right, we're all done here downtown Tampa. Now we're gonna go to Tampa International Airport to go look at a skid steer doing demolition stuff. I don't know what exactly the project is over there. That's the project we came here to see. This was bonus content. Pretty unique. Yes, there's no action with a A-Rex Liebherr machine munching at a concrete foundation downtown Zurich on an incinerator. I get that, but this is the other side of demolition, and that is very surgical, very precise, and it's not always about just smashing everything you come across. Hopefully you maybe learned something here. Now, Chell, let's go to the airport to not fly.
To not fly.
We're gonna go demolish the airport.
Oh, that was a lot. Wow.
Minimize incidents and near-miss incidents. You are the key in meeting this safety goal. That is why it is important for you to thoroughly understand
You're the key.
every part of it.
So we're out here at the Tampa Airport. This is the long-term parking, 7th floor. And how it used to work is you'd park your car here, you'd get on the monorail, and it would take you to the airport. They're removing the monorail because it's probably expensive to operate, and there's a better way to do it. They're putting those moving walkways in now. So with a better way to transport the people, they don't need the monorail anymore. And instead of just leaving it, this is taking up valuable potential parking space, potential revenue for the airport. So they have Milburn Demolition coming in here and removing all this entirely. So everything behind me is going away and is eventually just gonna be standard long-term parking. So they have hammering over there, they're cutting up track, there's torch work, and then all of this junk, it's not junk, all this concrete, all the broken glass, all the steel, everything goes out a chute on the outside of the structure they've completed down to trucks and is loaded out, hauled off, and soon, within a few months, this will all be completely squared away and ready for parking over the, I guess, holiday season. Here's your example. We were standing on the existing stuff there, and then here they've come through with a hammer and have started to remove all of it. They're over there torching some of the steel track, and then you'll just come through with a skid steer and start bringing it over there. All that is it's just an acetylene torch, so it uses acetylene gas. Heats up at a really high temperature, melts metal. That's how, on most of these demolition jobs, I don't think I've ever been to a single Milburn demolition job where they didn't have those on site, because that's how you can cut entirely through these tracks, through the steel grating, through anything. So he's just finishing up cutting these plates that they welded to the deck to fix the track to. So that'll all eventually be flush, and they can have cars drive over that no problem. So here we have the monorail car that is going to be cut up and sent down the chute, eventually to be scrapped. This is what would zoom around and would pick up the patrons going to their vacations, their business travel, to go see their mistress, whatever that may be. This is where they would get picked up, and it takes them right to the airport. You can actually see, Chase, if you want to look at this, there's a map in here. If you want to smell what I'm smelling.
Oh, it smells like vintage.
Yeah. So here you go. We're in the long-term parking. I think we're here. Goddard elevators. So we're here, and it loops around and then takes you to the terminal. They had to engineer this structure, this chute. They have 2 skid steers running back and forth to grab all of the concrete they just hammered out this morning. They drop it in there, and it shoots out the bottom into a nice tidy pile where one other skid steer down below will begin to throw it into trucks, and all of that concrete is hauled off for recycling. So this right here is a wrecking pole. It is attached to a Bobcat skid steer, and in a moment you're about to watch him wiggle it around and essentially start to knock this glass down. These are super handy. I see them use these all the time. Milburn loves the wrecking pole because you can use this to pry stuff out, and you're working pretty far out from the machine. So you're not, with this glass, for example, You're not putting that material onto the machine, damaging the machine, potentially being hazardous to the operator. Everything's out. I mean, shoot, this is what, like 12 feet?
12, 15 feet.
15 feet? This is a long ways out, so you can work safely out ahead of you without any trouble to the machine whatsoever. This is gonna be pretty cool. Oh my God. Broke it! Just wrapped up here, Tampa International Airport with Milburn Demolition removing the monorail. It was pretty cool until they started wrecking the glass with the wrecking pole, and then it got really cool. I don't know about you, but I really enjoyed that because it was so satisfying watching the pointy bit just crunch through the glass. I need one for my skid steer. We're all done here in Tampa. Good news for us, it's 11 a.m. and our flight's at like 5:30. So we're gonna go to the aquarium or beach or probably just work at a local coffee shop and then head to Chicago to visit WiT. Thanks for tuning in to this vlog featuring Milburn Demolition. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We'll see you on the next episode, day 4 of 5, Operation Black Ice. Stay dirty.